step away from the tracksuit, Cynthia.
We are a whole auntie and uncle over here at this point. You know what I'm saying? We were actually laughing about doing like some kind of podcast where we just really get to be Unc and TT, like seriously. And people love that we were matching. Like I was like, babe, we need to maybe come up with a little Unc and TT clothing line because I think we may be on to something. You know, this getting older thing could work for us.
I was just going to say, like, maybe this is another clothing venture. I mean, you've done, the bags, which we're going to talk about in a second.
Yes. Yes.
Why do you think, right? Because you guys are so together, you're matching, like this is, I mean, you're happy. Why do you think every now and then, the stuff surfaces on the blogs? I mean, the last time Mike was here, he talked about, I think, Valentine's, and it was some headline that was, I'm like, this isn't even like, you can't even get this headline from this interview. Like it is so taken out of context.
Because they try it. They will find if there's anything they can run with and try to turn it into a thing, they will. And I didn't even know anything about it because apparently all this happened when I was in the Big Brother house. And when I came out,
yes.
Mike was like, babe, you missed like a whole thing. I was like, wait, what? Because, we didn't have phones or any kind of communication in there. So.
And I don't even remember what the headline, but it was like, so normally I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. But this was so egregious. And I'm just like, why do you think these blogs are just so like, can't we all just be happy?
No, you know what? Here's the thing. I actually was naive enough to think that once I actually left Housewives, that no one was going to talk about me anymore. I don't know why I thought like, okay, that door's closed. I'm going into this next chapter. Nobody really cares about this next chapter. I'm kind of like, I thought in my mind was off limits. They haven't talk about the new housewives, talk about their relationships. Like, leave me alone. Like I did my time, but it never stopped. I was like, oh, so I'm not even on the show and I'm still like anything that happens, any, clickbait is still real. Anything, my husband and I are very transparent. Like if I say, oh my God, Mike gets on my nerves, like, we live together. Of course it's going to get on my nerves. The blog headline is Cynthia Bailey thinking about divorce. Mike is getting on her nerves. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's kind of, it comes with, it just comes with the whole celebrity thing. We just kind of laugh about it, but it was so crazy also because when I remember when Mike did your interview, he loved your interview and he was like, oh babe, it was so great. You definitely have to sit down and talk to them. Like he's like, was such a big fan of it. And then they took a splice from the interview that was a great interview and tried to turn it into something negative, which is just unfortunate. But at this point, I have a thick skin. He's getting a thicker skin because being, married to a former housewife.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, pretty much that he was signing up for. He has to kind of think before it says, before he says things, or just be ready to defend it because they will definitely pick everything apart. It just is what it is.
Well, tell him I had nothing to do with that. And hopefully he still liked the interview because it was a great freaking interview. And it was, I think the headline was something about divorce. And it was one of these like, yeah, Cynthia and I had an argument on our anniversary. Okay, well, that was said in this interview.
It was a true story.
Right.
Like, we were having the best time. It was our anniversary. And I can't even remember what happened. I think I started the argument, to be honest. Like I was in a bad mood. It was our anniversary. I should have been in a good mood, but like we were hanging out and like one thing turned into the next. I was like, we are not really having an argument on our actual anniversary, but hey, we're normal people. We argue. And it's not like, at that moment, I was like, I want to get my point across. And if it turns into an argument, it turns into an argument. And I don't care if it's our anniversary. This is happening. I'm going to get my point across right now. And that's, we don't pretend like, hey, we never argue and hey, whatever. And he just loved that he could be transparent and have fun with it because it was actually funny that it actually happened,
Well, he's welcome back anytime because I really thoroughly love that interview. And I'm like, this is just so dirty, people, like so dirty.
We love you. We just don't like the ones who try to make a thing. We already have our real issues. So we don't need you guys to try to make up some issues. Like, and we, like I said, we're pretty transparent. We kind of talk about things. We love talking about relationships because, we're like a real couple that deals with, different issues. We're like everyone else.
And you really thought like when you left Atlanta Housewives, like that's it. No more headlines for me. That's, I'm not
that. I was like, you know what? They don't, now I can just sit in my bubble and focus on my acting and just kind of like, Like I literally thought I'm just gonna kind of disappear, fall off the radar for a few years, and then I'm gonna come back as this big actress, and then I can talk about all the movies I'm doing. I can't wait to work with Viola Davis. Like I honestly thought no one would actually care that I had an argument with Mike on our anniversary. Well, I was wrong. I came out and apparently it had I think it had even gone viral. Like people were like asking me about it like left and right. It was nuts.
It was literally crazy. See, it's good that you were in the Big Brother house at that time. It's actually good.
Meanwhile, I'm in there going back and forth with Todd Bridges. I'm cooking with Carson. And I come out and I'm like, wait, Rihanna's pregnant. Wait, Mike said, what? Wait, this like crazy.
Did you love your time in the house? I mean, I am, besides being a Housewives aficionado, I am a huge Big Brother fan. So
you are? Oh my
huge.
goodness. I had, you know what? How do I, it's like an experience that you can't really describe. Like I've never been through anything like that before. I literally went into the house not really knowing a lot about the show. Like I watched a couple episodes. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go into the Big Brother house. Let me watch. And I only watched Celebrity Big Brother, which was a mistake. I should have watched the regular Big Brother because that's where you kind of learn stuff and you understand if someone has different, several alliances. Like I thought you pick one alliance, you stay true to that alliance. Nobody, like no matter what, your alliance is your alliance. I didn't know you could have like 2 or 3. People were asking me left and right, and I was so offended. I was like, I am in an alliance already. How dare you try to get me into your alliance? I am down with Carson and Shayna. And I just wore it so proudly that I don't know. I just played it the way that I played it, how I would play it in real life if I was really in an alliance with a bunch of friends, I guess. And it worked out for me in the end. Like between my cooking and cleaning and just being true to my alliance and being a woman of my word, I went all the way to the final 3. I almost won in the end. And I never won anything the whole time I was in the house. Never won a competition. I was on the block more than a few times. I even survived a double eviction one night. Like I knew I was leaving one night. I was like, okay, I'm back on the block again. I just got off the block, now I'm back on the block. My butt is going home. And I was still there, like ready to cook dinner. Okay. And I was like an auntie in the house too. I think that's why they kept me as well.
Well, I do think that if you were in the final 2, that yes, you would have won against either Misha or.
Yeah, I had no idea, like, because I didn't get to see anything, and everybody that left the house got to see all the lives, and I never saw any of that stuff. So I had no idea, being completely closed off to the world, that had I made it to final 2, that pretty much I was going to get everyone's vote.
Yeah. Were you like, did anything when you watched it back, were you upset you voted for Todrick? Like there was the whole controversy and like everyone came to cancel Todrick, and I mean, he's doing just fine. He's on tour, but
listen, I have to be honest. My reality was in that house, and Todrick was good to me in that house from what I saw. So what I didn't know, I just didn't know. And, when Carson left, I was really sad when Carson left because he was like my rider. And I didn't really have anyone like, Lamar and Todd had each other, Misha and Todrick had each other. And then I was kind of like a lone wolf and Carson was gone. So kind of honestly, after Carson left, I was like, okay, I can go now. And Todrick really took me under his wing for good reason because he was playing the damn game.
Right.
But no, like honestly, we really connected in the house, and I know he got like a lot of heat or whatever, but at the end of the day, he played the hell out of the game. Him and Misha Tate both, and they were definitely a dynamic duo in the house. And people can like not like them or like not like the way they play the game, but at the end of the day, it's just a game, and I don't judge them or their character on what happened in that house in that situation. For me, it's all about how we are outside of the house. And, I really bonded with everyone in the house, and I have love for all of them.
That makes a lot of sense. Did you get any advice from Kandi going into the house? Because she had done it before.
I did. She told me to, and I didn't really take any of the advice because she was like, don't jump into an alliance right away. I literally rang the doorbell, step 1 foot in. Carson opened the door and he was like, oh my God, do you want to work together? And I was like, yes. And I was like, shit, am I in an alliance already? Like I said, I was going to wait. I was supposed to wait. I think I'm already like in now. So I didn't take a lot of her advice.